Hello, this is Eli the Computer Guy, and today from the wilds of Reisterstown, we are going to be mouse hunting. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, that's right. So it was officially April 11th, and I know it's April 11th because I checked on my computer before I decided to start doing this video. It is Monday, April the 11th, and in my search to do vlogs that you guys actually might find curiously interesting, I decided that today we are going to be doing the mouse hunting. So as you guys may or may not know, I live in a big old barn, and unfortunately we have a little bit of a mouse problem. And it's one of those problems that we haven't dealt with, or we didn't deal with when we should have dealt with it. Like, we probably should have started dealing with our mouse problem like 3 years ago. And of course, you know, like a lot of problems, yeah, you mean to, right? Until it gets so bad that you gotta do something about it. But one of the issues that we have in my life is my wife is a vegan, and vegan, not plant-based, but vegan, and so we can't just go around killing mice, and so we have put lots and lots and lots of these humane mouse traps around the house, and they actually work really well. So we've got like 6 of these things around the house, and I figured today I would show you the process of trapping mice. Now, one of the benefits with using these humane mice traps over normal mouse traps is a great part is that they keep catching mice even once one mouse is in there. So like when we first started putting these things out, like we literally at one point at one point we caught like 3 mice per trap. So we would go out and we'd actually we got rid of like 20 mice in a first day. Unfortunately, there were holes in the house that I didn't realize. And so the 20 mice went out of the house, and then 20 mice came back in the house. So that was a bit of a problem. I have cleaned up the hole, or I have sealed up the holes to the best of my knowledge. But even so, I've decided that the mice are now going to get transplanted out in the park. So one of the problems is if you let the mice go if you let the mice go outside of your house, a lot of times they'll just run back inside the house, and it's so bad. Like that's how I realized that our house had some holes in it. Is I would let the mice out like outside, and I would literally watch them run essentially right back into the house. I wasn't quite sure where they were getting into the house, but you would see them. They would pop out, they would look around, and then they'd like run straight back for the house. And I was like, damn you mice, damn you. So now instead of letting them go anywhere near the house, what I do is I take them all the way off to a park. So today I'm going to show you how this whole mouse trapping thing works, and then actually we're going to go and drive to the park. So we're going to do a vlog drive today. That should be interesting. But anyways, the first thing that we're going to do is we have to have our wonderful little safety equipment. So if you're going to be dealing with mice, do realize that mice do carry some diseases and some nasty stuff. So if you're going to be dealing with the mice, you should put on some kind of gloves or whatever. I don't know. I've been dealing with them for like a month now. I haven't got any horrible diseases, but you know, you don't want to get a horrible disease from a mouse. So you put on your nice little gloves, and then we're going to go in here, and we're going to collect all the traps. So these traps, if you buy them from Amazon.com, they're only about $10 a piece, so they're well worth it. Basically what you do is just grab the mouse trap, and then you kind of look inside to see if there's a mouse in there. Is there any mouse in here? I don't see any mice in here. But the one thing with these mice traps though is that you don't want to do a humane mouse trap and then accidentally leave a mouse in there and have it starve to death, because that would just be so sad. That would just be so horrible. Can you imagine the poor little vegan out there that humanely captures a mouse and then has it starve to death in a trap? That just would not be a good thing. So what I do is, even if I don't see any mice in here, I actually take them all with me, and then I open up all these traps out in the park just in case they're hiding. Because it's curious dealing with mice, because a lot of them really do hide. Like it's kind of sad. Like they get so scared in these mouse traps that they end up hiding in the mice traps, and then you don't even see them. And again, last thing I need is have some poor little starving mouse in a mouse trap. So we go here. You can see we need to clean up. We have had so many mice in this place. Again, if you're going to deal with mice, you're gonna have mice, make sure you deal with them. Is there any mice in here? I don't know. We've actually gotten a lot of the mice at this point. But you gotta make sure. So like I say, we got 6 of these. And again, if you're looking for mouse traps or you're having a mouse problem, buying these little mouse traps are the best way to go. Because I have used, the non-humane mouse traps in the past. And again, the problem with the non-humane mouse traps is they go off, and then that kills one mouse. And then you have to reset it, you have to reset it, you have to reset it. You have to go through that whole process. The nice thing with this is, like I say, they just keep capturing and capturing and capturing. Let's see, any mice? Ooh. I don't know if you can see it. There is a mouse in there. There's a mouse in here. So we got at least one mouse for today. See? Look. There's a little mouse butt. What? Mouse butt. So, okay. So we're going to take this. Take this downstairs. So this is 4 of them. I do kind of like this GoPro camera. I do have to say the GoPro camera really does give me like a whole kind of flexibility that I like that I didn't have on the other cameras. So basically, here's where the trap is, and I won't open this up because the mouse might be in here. But these are the little holes. So basically, the mice go in here, and then how this door mechanism works, there's a little door mechanism, and so they can go in, but they can't get out. And so basically, you have doors on either side, so they can get in from either side. And there's a big old glob of peanut butter right in the middle of this thing. So they go in there, and they trap themselves. And it's really weird, like I say, with the whole mice thing, because you will get like 3 mice, like all in there at one time. And you do really have to wonder with mice. Like, are mice just like colossal assholes? Like, you really do have to wonder. Like, you always think of like mice and like all these things as like cute little critters. But you have to wonder, like, once 1 mouse is already trapped, and then 2 mice are already trapped, you don't think, like, once 2 mice are in there, that they don't say, like, hey, buddy, hey, don't come in here, it's a trap. You know what I'm saying? They're just like, no, come on in. Sure, if we're going to get trapped and die, you might as well get trapped and die with us. You don't think about that, right? Everybody, for some reason, always thinks like these cute critters somehow are like these morally and ethically pure beasts. But in reality, these cute little mice could just be colossal assholes. But you're not allowed to say that, are you? Anyways, okay. Bum. Yeah, somebody noticed before, this is the rebounder. This is my wife's rebounder. She absolutely loves a rebounder. So she would give this thing a thumbs up, a very good review. I would not, because I would kill myself if I used the thing. A trampoline in a house. That seems like a bit of a bad idea. But she likes it. So what am I to say? Don't see any mice in here. We may have only caught 1 mouse today. That's nice. We may finally be weeding down on the mice. Well, we're either getting rid of the mice or the mice are getting smarter. Unfortunately, I have a slight feeling the mice are just getting smarter. It's like you would like to think all the mice are gone, but I don't think they are. But what are you going to do? Anyways, and so this is why the mouse hunting thing is a big pain in the ass too, is because the mice are all over the place. So that's our little thing. We go in here. Oh, a little pantry. Do we have any mice in the pantry? No, we may have only caught 1 mouse today. Okay. Oh, let me put this down. Go get the car keys. Okay, grab the car keys. Got the Buddha. Got the Hanuman. Got a lot of statues around here. Got the Shiva over there. Got the Ganesh over there. So, okay. That's the view outside. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what we do is we put a nice little top. They're all captured inside. There we go. A mouse-proof container. Now we take it outside. So we actually started having to store the traps at night in this little Rubbermaid container, because I swear to you, the mice could figure out how to get into the traps, even when we were trying to not let them in the traps. Because the thing is, like, a lot of the mice that we got originally would, like, make a lot of noise. They would sit there and they would try to gnaw their way out of the poor metal cage, which is very, it makes a racket. And so what we would do is we would actually, we would try to put the traps in a place where the mice couldn't get into them. So we put them like on a countertop or on a table or something like that, and the mice would still get into it. Like, even when we had the traps in places that we didn't want the mice to get into it, the mice would still find a way to get into it. So that's why we started using this nice little Rubbermaid container here, because this way it seals it up. And again, like I say, sometimes you don't want to. You don't want the mice getting into it, because that's one of the things with the traps is that basically you just put the peanut butter in there once. You put a big old glob of peanut butter in there once, and then you don't have to worry about it again. We should clean it out. You're supposed to clean out the mouse traps every once in a while. We should. I mean to. Probably this week I will clean them out. But more or less, basically what you do is you just put that big old glob of peanut butter in there, and then you don't really have to deal with it. Basically, you just empty the things out. Alright, so there we go. The mice are in the back seat. Door gets closed. And now we're gonna go driving. So do not do this at home. So normally I argue that vlogging while driving is a very stupid thing. Do not do stupid things. And then you're saying, well, Eli, you're about to vlog while driving. What the hell makes you special? And the reason is because I'm me. No, that's an asininely stupid reason. No, the reason I'm vlogging while driving is simply we're not going that far away, and we're going through local streets, so we'll only be going like 15 miles an hour anyway. So I don't feel so bad vlogging while driving doing this, but in general, do not vlog while driving. Because I see that like with Barnacles. Barnacles vlogs while he drives a lot. And he is a dummy head. And here's the thing, if you watch Barnacles and you hear me call him a dummy head for vlogging while driving, you can tell him I said he's a dummy head. Because generally, it is stupid to vlog while driving. And he has a kid. Can you imagine if he fucking kills himself? Because he vlogs and drives all the damn time. Like, I am doing this once, simply because we are doing this whole, catch and release thing with the mice. But he does it all the time, and he actually does it on real roads. And that is just asininely stupid. Because again, do you want your kid to grow up fatherless simply because you wanted to create a video while you're driving? That's just so stupid. But so many people do this. Like I say, I think this is asininely stupid. I actually don't even like doing this right now. Now that I'm doing this right now, I think this is really kind of stupid, and I shouldn't do it. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop. But I'm not going to do this again. But anyways, that's just the thing. So anyways, so you guys get to see my nice little neighborhood, the beautiful neighborhood in Reisterstown. I don't know what the hell we are in. It's so funny anymore. Like, you don't really know like what actual community you're in anymore. I don't know if we're like really, are we in Reisterstown or Owings Mills, or I don't know. I think we're in like the Reisterstown area. We're here in the nice little suburbs. Oh, I remember when I lived in the city and I was like, I will never live in the suburbs. The suburbs are evil. And now I live in the suburbs. And I'm like, you know what? It's kind of nice. You need a vacation. You definitely do need a vacation from the suburbs. But it's really good, because that was the thing. Like I lived in Baltimore City. We lived in Baltimore City. I lived in Baltimore City for quite a while. And so when we got this little place out here in the suburbs, I was a little kind of worried. I was a little like, oh, what's it going to be like to live in the suburbs? Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to deal with it. And I thought there would be like some adjustment period. And yeah, the adjustment period was all of about like 3 hours. Like I got, like that, the first night that we stayed here, I went out, I bought a 6-pack of beer, I sat out on the porch and drank a beer and listened to the birds. I was like, you know what? This is kind of nice. I kind of like this. But these are our enormous yards. We have like the biggest stupid yards. Our yards are so big around here. And the worst part is you don't even see any kids in them. If you want to know why the world is going to go to hell and we're all going to die and climate change and all that, I would argue it is yards. So if you go around here, like everybody around here has these massive yards, absolutely huge yards. Again, most people have somewhere between 1 to 3 acres, and most of it is yard. And yet you almost never see anybody out in the yard. Literally, the only activity that ever happens in the yard is lawn mowing. So basically what we do, look right, look left. So what we do around here is we use our lawns so that we can mow them. And so then we mow our lawns and we spew all that crap into the atmosphere just so we can have fresh cut lawns so that when they come to mow the lawn next time, the lawn isn't too high. Yep, this is why we're all going to go to hell. It's not going to be the hamburgers. It's not going to be the endless wars. We are going to hell because of lawns. I really do believe. I do believe lawns are like one of the most evil things. It's funny, like people like talk about morality. And that's why I always hate it when people bring up morality. Because my view of morality seems to be so skewed compared to other people's views of morality. Because I would argue, if you're really looking for the products like that Satan created, if there was a Satan, if there was a devil, I've been watching Lucifer lately. Have you been watching Lucifer? Lucifer is a very cute show. A very stupid show that probably won't last very long, but a very cute show nonetheless. But anyways, I've been watching Lucifer. I've been watching Lucifer. That sounds so horrible. But anyways, there's a TV show called Lucifer. And so, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So if I was going to say that Satan created any products, like any products in the modern world that Satan created, I would argue, actually, it would be lawns and air conditioning. That's right. If I was going to say the product that Lucifer created, it would be lawns and air conditioning. And the reason is because they're just such ridiculous wastes of stuff. That really like burn a lot of energy and all that kind of stuff and kind of separate us from the world. Because I mean, you think about it, if you think about all these lawns, right? So all of these lawns like gas, like lawnmowers. I've actually had buddies who are small engine mechanics, and lawnmowers are like literally, look at this big old lawn right here. Lawnmowers literally have the worst fuel efficiency of any internal combustion engine in existence. And so basically, we're just burning a whole crap ton of gasoline so we can have these big expanses of grass that we don't use anyway. So think about it. Grass is horrible. Like, people think lawns are a good thing. People go, oh, we don't want apartments, or we don't want buildings, or we don't want these things because we'd rather have lawns. But realistically, lawns are actually a horrible thing. Lawns are just completely evil because you don't have any biodiversity in lawns. Basically, when you have a lawn, you have grass. And the worst part is, not only do you not have much biodiversity, but in some of these lawns, you have no biodiversity. So not only are there no critters in the lawn, so there's no critters and there's no wildlife and there's none of that kind of stuff, but also that, like, around here, like, a lot of people use chemicals to kill crabgrass and stuff. So basically, you just have these masses of expanses of like literal grass. So you kill everything other than the grass, then you mow the ever-loving shit out of the grass just so you can have a lawn that you're not going to use. Right? But anyways, that's why I would say grass or lawns are one of the great evils of existence. And then I say air conditioning is one of the great evils of existence because it separates us from everybody else. Like, if you go to Europe, or if you go to any other if you go to Europe or any other third world country, never say Eli doesn't tell you how he thinks. Anyways, if you go to Europe, or if you go to any other country, a lot of countries, unlike the U.S., they don't have like climate control the way that we do. You see how much more active they are outside, right? I would argue one of the reasons why we're so sequestered in the United States is because we have such a good HVAC, right? So if it's 95 degrees or 100 degrees outside, and you can be in your nice little house at like 70 degrees playing your video games, then you just want to stay in your house and you don't want to go outside. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to be around anybody else, right? Whereas if you go to a place, like if you're in like Barcelona and it's like 105 degrees at night and it's absolutely miserable and you can't go to sleep because you're just pouring out sweat, then you go out to the park at night, and then you go out to the cafes at night, and then you go out and you're actually interacting with people, right? So anyways, I would argue the great evils in life. The evil in life is not crack. Crack is not the evil. Guns are not the evil. I would argue lawns and air conditioners are the great evil. And I know some of you are laughing, but think about it for a little while. Think about it. I'm not joking. If there were two things I think the world should ban, more or less, it would be lawns and air conditioning. But anyways, there's some mice here. So okay, so we're in this nice little woodsy area. So my house is like way over that way. So theoretically, they say you're supposed to take the mice 5 miles away from your house. Jesus Christ. I hope I don't have to do that. But anyways, our house is way over that way. So you can see how much lawn there is, at the very least, between the house and here. So probably the house, as a crow flies, is at least half a mile away. Probably 3/4 of a mile away. And so we're in here in this nice little forest area. What we'll do is we'll pop the top off of this thing, and we'll start letting the mice go. So we pull one out, dun, 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 and then we pop the lid. And I pop the lid this way, so they run the other way. See, you see that big old gob of peanut butter? There's a lot of poop in here. We do need to clean it out. But then what I do is I look in there, make sure there's not a mouse there. I look in there, make sure there's not a mouse there. And then what I actually do is I put it up here, because I don't want a mouse to end up running it back into a trap. Because when you let the mice out, they really are scared, and a lot of times they won't leave the trap, or they'll do something stupid like try to run into another trap. So I put it up there so they can't get back into the trap. Sounds stupid, but they're mice. Dun da da. See a big old gob of peanut butter. Got any mice there? Nope. Any mice there? Nope. All right. And again, you open them all up, because there would be nothing sadder to find a little mouse carcass in here. Oh, there we go. See, there's a little mouse. Hey, mouse. Aren't they cute little mice? And look, it just sits there. It just sits there and looks like the door's open. You can leave. You can leave. But they just sit there looking. Hey. Where'd the mouse go? See, it goes running away. I don't know if you can see it anymore. Yeah, there we go. Okay, mouse ran away. Oh, any more mice in here? No more mice in here. I do believe that is the only mouse for you today. But who knows? Like I say, you got to open them all up to make sure. Yep. So all you guys are like, hey Eli, after I get all my certifications, all of my training, once I'm cool like you, how will I spend my life? It's like, well, you'll spend your life trapping mice. Yeah, all those cool, amazing things you thought you were gonna do with your life. What do you end up doing? Trapping mice. Oops, wow. So there really was only one mouse for today. Well, that is definitely a good thing. That is definitely a thumbs up. Because, like I said before, we were trapping like 20 mice a day. So the fact that we're only trapping like 1 or 2 or 3 now seems like a good thing. Seems like a good thing. Though it could just mean the mice have gotten smarter. Or, well, I hate to say that the mice have gotten smarter. But that they just don't like the traps anymore. I don't know. Again, as I say, there is almost only so much I can do in life. Yep. So we just go, take our little container, go back to the car. Dum da dum da dum da dum da dum 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 dum. So this is all actually park right over here. So we're right on we're right on what's called Soldier's Delight Park. So this is all park here. And over there, you can see that house. But if you look, you see how there's that field? Like between the tree line here and the house, you see that field over there? So my house looks out literally on that field. So back when Tex and Tonto were still around, we would walk from our house through our 1.5 acres of swampland up into the field there, and then we would walk over and then go down, and there's a stream over there, and that would take us into the park. So like when I was doing these videos before, when I was initially doing these little vlog videos, and we were walking around through the park, that's what we would do. So we would go over, we would go down through the swampland, and up and over, and see, this is what you want to do in life, right? You know, everybody has this idea like they want to own land. I want to own land. No, you don't want to own land, because if you own land, it costs money, and then 2, you got to maintain land, and it's all a pain in the ass. What you really want to do in life is basically what you want to do is you want to own a little bit of land. You want to own like an acre or 2, and then have it back up to a 1,900 acre park. So that's why we can just walk out the back of our house and into this park, because this is a 1,900 acre park right here. So we get all the benefits of having like our own park. We don't have to worry about the taxes or any of that kind of stuff. That's the way to go. But our last two houses have been on parks, and I really do have to say, like, if you're thinking about buying a house and you like the nature and the outdoors and all that kind of stuff, definitely think about buying on a park, because it can be a really, really great thing. Like even the city, like we had, what did we have? We had like 0.03 of an acre, or 0.10 of an acre. We had like nothing. We had like no property at all back at our old place. But the cool thing is that we lived right on that park. We lived right on what's called Humane Park. And so we could just walk out our door right onto a huge lawn. That's a great thing, right? Well, except for the crackheads. There are a lot of crackheads in Baltimore. I don't know what the hell is it with Baltimore. Baltimore has some fucked up people. But anyways, Baltimore County's not too bad. Again, do realize Baltimore and Baltimore County are two different things. Bum, 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 bum. And again, as I've said before, do not vlog and drive. I'm only doing this like one time because it kind of sort of makes sense. Because we are mouse hunting. And therefore, on the great mouse hunt, I should take you on the overall adventure. But overall, do not vlog and drive. Wouldn't that be so sad? Like I say, I think about like Barnacules' poor little kid. Can you imagine? Have you seen his little kid? Oh, I forget what the hell his kid's name is. I don't want to screw it up. But you know, can you imagine his poor little kid? His poor little boy. He's autistic too. And can you imagine like Barnacules like literally killed himself while vlogging and driving? That would be just so sad. Like, how do you look into some poor little autistic kid's eyes and say, hey, yeah, your dad, yeah, he died because he was really damn stupid. Oh, no, like from an academic standpoint, he's really smart. He was like a Microsoft programmer, and he's got all of this really great knowledge, but then he decided for some stupid-ass reason he was going to vlog and drive. Like a lot. He does it a lot on real roads. Oh, I'm gonna put this down because there's some doggies. I don't want them to see that I'm being asininely stupid. It's one thing to be asininely stupid if nobody notices. But when you're being asininely stupid and people notice, that's the worst thing. Truth. That was one of the things I learned, like in criminal justice, for crime prevention. You want to know the greatest thing for crime prevention? And you want to know why yuppies? Do you know why yuppies are great for crime prevention? Because yuppies buy dogs. And the thing is, if you have a dog, you need to go out and walk dogs. And when you're going out and you're walking dogs, and a lot of people in the neighborhood have dogs, simply by being outside, walking dogs, people don't want to be seen doing stupid stuff. And it really is. So simply like walking a dog is like one of the greatest crime prevention things out there. Because nobody wants to be seen as doing something stupid. Like even like thugs and ghetto rats and all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, they may be like spray. I mean, think about that. Like people don't want to be spray painting or doing graffiti with folks watching. I mean, unless they're Fancy or whatever the hell his name is. I guess he wants a crowd. But most people, they want to do it in the shadows. They want to do it while nobody's looking. And so if you have a lot of people out like doing things like walking dogs, that's actually a good thing for crime prevention. Truth. Dum dum dum. The little lessons Eli teaches you guys. Oh, very excited for going off to Thailand. So not a lot. Let's see. See, there's more people out. And I don't want my neighbors to know I'm doing something stupid. But anyways, what was I gonna say? Thailand, yeah. So getting close to Thailand. So it's Monday today. So we have like almost exactly 2 weeks until Thailand. So I'm very excited about that. There's not much more to do. Basically, like I say, I'm just playing around with this GoPro, making sure the video camera will work the way that I think it will work, and I do believe it will. So basically, I just have to test this and do a couple other things. I don't think we really have to buy any more stuff. I've bought clothes for the trip, so I bought some Lululemon clothes. So we are going to do a Lululemon review. in the future. And the reason I bought Lululemon, I know some of you guys are gonna be like, what, Eli, you bought Lululemon? Oh, Eli, what's going on with you? Well, the reason that I bought Lululemon clothes is when I went down to do that work at INE down in Durham, North Carolina, I decided I wanted to use the elliptical machine in the hotel. And so I didn't bring any of my exercise clothes. And so I just ran over to Lululemon there just to buy some exercise clothes because it was the closest place. But what I found is Lululemon has this anti-stink technology like built into their clothes, and it works. Oh my golly, Lululemon anti-stink technology really works. So like I can wear like normally I wear like Under Armour clothing, right? And when I get done with a workout in Under Armour clothing, I just stink. I am just like horrible, god awful, nasty. It's just foul, right? But what I have found with Lululemon stuff is like I can actually use it for like multiple workouts in a row. I can use it for like 4 or 5 workouts in a row and it still smells absolutely fine. So what I decided is for the traveling then, I bought the Lululemon stuff so I don't have to take very much with me and it won't smell absolutely horrible. Because again, going to Thailand, it'll be like 90 to 100 degrees all the time, right? And don't know how the washing situation will be, don't want to take a lot of clothes, all that kind of stuff. So we went out, got the Lululemon stuff because it has that nice anti-stink technology in there. So, but I got those. We'll do a review of that later. But we have the clothes, I have the backpack, I have the GoPro, I have a little MacBook Air, so I can do this computer processing stuff while we're on the road. And I don't think we'll need a lot of other equipment other than that. You know, not going to have to bring any camping equipment with us, because we'll probably be staying in like hotels and hostels and guest houses and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't really think there's much more to buy. So we're just kind of waiting around, just kind of waiting for the next, next 2 weeks to go by, and then we will be off to Thailand. And we'll see how the internet connections are there. Internet connections should be good. Internet connections should be good. And I am hopeful as far as the bandwidth goes and the ability to upload video goes. But, you know, hopeful. Oh, you always gotta be a little worried, but I am pretty hopeful with it. I think it should be good, because again, like Thailand is really good. Again, if you don't live off the economy, that's one thing you have to think about. Like whenever you're traveling, you do have to realize life is different depending on whether or not you're a local and you live off the economy versus if you're a foreigner and you live off the American economy. And so the thing is, like, if you're a Thai, if you're from Thailand, it is a poor country in a lot of ways. They have a lot of poverty and that kind of stuff. And so I'm not sure how I'd feel about being Thai. It's not like I want to give up my U.S. citizenship and go off to be Thai or anything like that. But what I can say is if you're an American and you have the American dollars, right, and you can spend the American dollars, when you go there, it's not backwards. It's just expensive for the local economy. So for me, I can throw down $2 and get very good service for whatever I want. All right, and so I'm very hopeful as far as the internet connections are going to be concerned, because I think there's very good internet access there as long as you can afford it, which is different than some places. Again, like when I was in RV parks, even here in the United States, I mean, there's some places where it doesn't matter. I mean, you could be willing to spend $100 an hour and you still can't get good service. There, what I am hypothesizing, what I'm assuming, you know what assume means, right? Anyways, what I'm assuming or hypothesizing is that I will be able to get good internet access there, even if it has to cost me a couple of bucks. But we'll see. I do not know. Oh, but I guess that's about it. I don't have much more to say. That is the great mouse hunting. So I use the Victor. What are these things if you guys want to buy them? Because actually I really do. Like I say, vegan crap aside, again, I am not vegan, so I'm not saying this as a vegan. As a non-vegan, I argue these things are some of the greatest things in the world, and they're the Victor 10 cat mousetraps. They cost $10 a piece on Amazon. You can get them shipped to you when they'll be there in a couple of days. And again, I argue for them, not from a vegan standpoint, but just because they're so effective. Again, you put out one mousetrap, and then you put it out, and then if it catches a mouse, it automatically stops, right? It only kills one mouse at a time, and then you got to pick it up, and you got to deal with it, and then if there's all kinds of blood and guts, because sometimes in the mousetraps, it isn't pretty. Or if you forget like about one of these mouse traps, like that's the thing, is like a lot of times mice don't go into the mice traps when you think they should, and so you have the mouse traps down and then you forget about the mouse traps, and then all of a sudden there's like this weird stink. So I would actually argue, like, veganism and all that crap aside, normal mouse traps are pretty horrible. And that's why I like these, is because, again, I have caught up to 3 mice in a single trap at the exact same time. So you put out like 5 or 6 of these in your house. Again, at one point we were able to catch like 20 mice a day. Again, the lesson that I will tell you on that is that if you catch the mice, take them to a park far, far, far away. But yeah, we were able to catch up to like 20 mice a day, which I just functionally don't see how you could do with a normal mousetrap. So again, like I say, cruelty and all that kind of crap aside, how would you catch 20 mice per day with normal snap mice traps? And how would you feel about it at the end of the day? I mean, that would be like a fucking massacre of mice. Even if you don't care about mice, even if you're all like, fuck it, they're mice, you know, like massacring like 20 mice a day, it's still gonna do a little something to you. So like with these little guys, again, I mean, it's just really effective. You put it out, and they work. Like I say, do good things. So yeah, that's about it. Let's see here. As far as my exercise routine and all that kind of stuff goes, I'm not sure what I weighed in this morning. I think I weighed in like 201 this morning. The one thing that I have found, though, oh my golly, I guess I really do have some kind of wheat intolerance. I didn't really think about it because I don't eat a lot of wheat. Not for health things or any of that kind of shit. Just because I don't, right? And so, like sandwiches. So I don't eat a lot of sandwiches anymore. And the main reason I don't eat a lot of sandwiches is because my wife is vegan. And so at the house, we basically have a vegan house. I'm not vegan, but we have a vegan house. So I don't have lunch meats or any of that kind of stuff. So I don't eat lunch meat type sandwiches. As I've talked about before, it has nothing to do with vegetarian or veganism. I basically stay away from dairy and cheese. The reason being is just do a little Google search on dairy, and that right there is a bit of a scary scientific concoction anymore. So basically, I stay away from dairy and cheese, just my own volition. And then nuts, so peanut butter, almond butter, that kind of stuff, I stay away from because that doesn't work well with my system. It gives me a lot of flatulence, gives me a lot of gas. So I just don't eat a lot of bread or like wheat products. And so I eat some like every once in a while with pasta. And I noticed like if I ate too much pasta, it might cause me a little bit of problems. But I figured that was just eating too much of anything. But so with just trying to get back into the normal diet thing, a normal, decent, healthy routine, what I decided to do was I went out and I got these nice rolls to make sandwiches with. And I was talking about that yesterday. And so basically just to make sandwiches, you know, this is a nice, easy, healthy meal. You make like for me, I'd say I make a tofu sandwich or whatever else. Tofu or veggie or whatever. I was like, okay, I'll go back to making sandwiches again. Sandwiches are nice, easy to eat food. But what I found is, so Saturday night was the first night I had sandwiches for dinner, and that was the night that I was up until like 12:30. So like normally I go to bed at like, I don't know, somewhere between 9 to 10. I'm old. I'm 39. Right? But anyways, normally I go to bed at like 9 to 10. And so the first night I ate the sandwiches and I was up to like midnight, like I said, 12:30 at night. And so that was weird. I was like, huh, okay. And then last night, as I was telling you guys, it cut off before I got to the end of it. I created these real nice tofu sandwiches. Oh, let me tell you, you take, see what I did is you take toasted sesame oil, you cut a slab of just really extra firm tofu, you fry the extra firm tofu on both sides. Then you throw on, you get some frozen spinach. You saute that up, no oil. You just basically cook it until it's nice. You put that on, and then you do some mayo, right? So you got the bread, you got the tofu. Oh, very wonderful stuff, right? Again, it's not even about being vegan. That is some really tasty, healthy stuff right there. But what I found is after I had the sandwiches last night, I actually found that I had like real acid reflux. So I haven't had like real noticeable acid reflux for a long, long time. I can't remember the last time like I felt like I was burping up acid. But like literally, like last night, I was like burping up acid after having that. And it's not the tofu because I've had a lot of tofu, and it's not the spinach because I've had a lot of spinach, and it's not the mayo because I've had a lot of mayo. And it's really it's the bread. So I really do actually think I have a pretty bad bread wheat intolerance now. Oh, what are you gonna do? So he's sitting there. I'm just gonna be eating my rice and spinach. Throw a little steak on there. Rice and steak. Hey, there you go. I don't know. But yeah. It is funny to think about, though, like I say, with all these weird little food intolerances. And just to think about the food that makes you kind of miserable. Because like I say, for me, I found, nuts cause me issues, and beans cause me issues, and pure sugar causes me issues, and onions and garlic causes me issues, and now wheat causes me issues. But the thing is to think about, like, all these foods, like, if you're eating it, and you're getting all of these weird issues from eating it, and you're not realizing it, I mean, think about how detrimental that can be to your health. Right? Because that's the thing, like you get the indigestion going on, you're not sleeping well at night. Because that's what I found out with the sugars, is if I eat like highly refined stuff before bed or any sugary stuff, it's called sugar insensitivity, or sugar sensitivity. Anyways, what happens is you eat sugar, it spikes your insulin, so your insulin, basically your body like overreacts and actually makes you really tired, and then what happens is you get really sleepy, and then you wake up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and the reason is because the insulin is still pumped. It's an overreaction by your body. So the body feels that there's sugar, it sends all the energy to process the sugar. Then the problem is you process the sugar so quickly that so you fall asleep while you're processing the sugar, but then you process the sugar so quickly that then the body is like still jazzed and it still wants to process something even though nothing's there, and so you wake up at like 1 o'clock in the morning and you have insomnia and you don't really even realize why. And so that's the kind of fun stuff you can have with all these weird little sensitivities and things. So just something to think about, I say, with food. Again, as I talk about that, like I'm whole foods. And again, it's not dogma, it's not religion to me, it's not any of that crap. The reason that I'm actually whole foods, and basically when I mean whole foods is I essentially more or less, I eat foods that are foods. Like you look at the food and you know what the hell it is. Like a banana is a whole food. You look at a banana, that's a banana, right? Rice is a whole food. Chicken fingers is not a whole food. You don't know what all this stuff is. And one of the reasons why was actually, oddly enough, because of Atkins. So like way back when, years ago, I decided to do the Atkins diet for a little while. Horrible diet, don't do it. I would argue don't do it. But anyways, one of the interesting things is if you really look at the Atkins diet and the things that you're supposed to eat and not supposed to eat, and then you go out and you look at a lot of the processed foods, what you find out is a lot of foods that you don't think would have very much stuff in them actually have like a lot of stuff in them. Even like meats and things, because that's what I found, like the meats that I was looking at. I wouldn't think that would be very processed. I just thought they were packaged, and then you find out there's like all this stuff put into it. And so that's why I'm whole foods as far as that goes, is because I know I can look at the food and I know what's in the food. That is a bean. That is rice. When you eat white rice, you know it's white rice. You don't have to worry about is there garlic in the white rice. You don't have to worry about is there onion in the white rice. You don't have to worry about weird. Rice is rice, right? So that's why I do the whole foods thing. And it's something for you guys to be thinking about. Like I say, any of you guys with like indigestion problems, any of you guys with like sleeping problems, any of that kind of stuff, just think about just eating food that you know what the food is. Because again, for me, it took years to figure out what all my little sensitivities were, just because like so much of this stuff is in everything. Again, like you say, like it was so hard to figure out my problems with garlic and onions, because what you don't realize is garlic and onions is in everything. Anything that you buy that's processed, I swear to you, I almost think beer has garlic and onions in it anymore. But if you look at it, like it'll be all the way down at the bottom, and then they'll be in like little fine print, and it'll say garlic. And so like for me, like if there is a product, and literally the last item on the ingredient list is garlic or onion, it still bothers me. Like even just a minuscule amount, just a dash, Mrs. Dash of garlic, still bothers me a lot. And so that's one of the problems that I ran into trying to figure out all my digestive stuff. Is because so many of these foods are processed with so many different things anymore, where you think you're eating something, but you're not actually eating what you think you're eating, and that can cause a problem. So that's why I do the whole Foods thing. Again, am I telling you to do the Whole Foods thing? No, I don't give a damn what you do. I do not care what you do. I'm just saying it works for me in general. And sadly, I think bread and all that will probably have to be off the table. And it's organic too. So any of you folks out there, GMO, Roundup. No, it was Whole Foods organic. Whole Foods organic. Oh well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Not eat bread. That's what I'm gonna do. Anyways, with that, I think we will call it a day. I can see, looking at the camera, I've been talking to you guys for about 45 minutes now. So I think that's a nice, good length of a video. Oh, I am proud. We are now up to $35 for the month. So I told my wife the other day, like I was telling you guys that, I told my wife the other day that we have a curve. We have a curve for Fail Normal. That's right. We are up to $35. I made $3 off of Fail Normal yesterday. Yes! Because I'm really thinking this is going to be the new channel. Like Eli, the computer guy, is still puttering along. I will still be more than happy to keep collecting that money for years to come. But I think Fail Normal is going to be the new channel. This is going to be so much more interesting. I'm just kind of tired of firewalls and sands and all that. Like I said, I was down at the INE. I was doing all those interviews down at INE, and then there was a meetup. And one of the people that I had interviewed was at the meetup, and it was really funny because this guy, he's out there. He's got his master VMware certification or whatever, going for a CCIE, going for all this stuff. And he just looked at me and said, "So Eli, what are you most excited about in technology?" And I just kind of sat there, nothing. I really honestly give two shits about technology anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like, technology. With technology, we were really at the point. It's like, what do you need? What's your budget? What are the requirements are there? Okay, buy this. It's not that exciting. I think Thailand's going to be exciting. Laos will be exciting. All kinds of weird-ass, wacky places will be exciting. These kind of little life lessons here. Getting acid reflux from eating bread, I think, is exciting. Intrusion detection systems. If you need it, buy it. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. I don't really care. But anyways, I probably should eat something. It is 6:13. So, it is 6:13. What was it? Somebody was asking me something. What was the final question? Oh, what was the final question? Somebody was asking about my exercise routine or something. Somebody was asking about my exercise routine for going. So I work out. I try to work out twice a day. So I try to do my cardio in the morning, and I try to do my strength training in the afternoon. So I do an hour of cardio in the morning, and try to do like an hour of strength training in the afternoon. And somebody was asking if I do free weights or machines. So again, I will tell you, because I'm not dogmatic about anything, damn it, is I actually use machines. I use machines for my strength training. Now, before I start getting crap from anybody, I know, look, I've dealt with this crap for a long time in my life when it actually mattered. Right now, it doesn't actually matter to me. But the reason why I use machines is so whenever you go to work out, whenever you go out to build muscle, to do strength training, what everybody says, and to a degree they are correct, is that free weights are the way to go. Free weights are the way to go. So if you go out there to do strength training, you can either use free weights or you can use machines. The reason why free weights are theoretically the best way to go, the way to real men make muscle, is because when you have free weights, there's no support. I mean, basically, you got a barbell, or you got a dumbbell, or you got, what I'm saying. And so when you're lifting, there aren't any additional supports. So what's nice with that is you get a lot of fine muscle strengthening, right? So in order to balance the barbell properly and all that kind of stuff, you get a lot of fine muscle strengthening. And then the other thing too is that you always have a dominant side. So like for me, my right side is more dominant than my left side. And so one of the issues is when you use machines, both sides are working at the same time, which means the dominant side can actually take up the slack for the non-dominant side. So your non-dominant side can stay slightly weaker than your dominant side, right? Because the machine is just basically one unit all connected together. So the idea is when you have barbells and you're doing dumbbells and you're doing free weights, is that your dominant side can't compensate for your non-dominant side, so it forces both sides to strengthen equally, more or less equally, and that's why it's considered good. And so if you're thinking, well, if that's considered good, why aren't you doing it? Because I'm like gimpy. I'm getting a little gimpy in my old age. Military, paramilitary, martial arts, traveling around the world. You do pick up some injuries over the years, and so like literally, I got a medical discharge from the Army for a screwed up wrist. I have a wrist injury, and then I have a bit of an elbow injury, and then at one point I had a shoulder injury, and then I have some other injuries and that kind of stuff. And so one of the things though is if you do have injuries that you're a little bit worried about, like I'm not horribly worried about these, they're not going to keep me from doing anything, but I'm a little worried about it, I'm a little concerned about it, I guess, is the problem is with free weights, since there is there's no support at all, the issue is it's a lot easier to injure yourself. So especially with somebody like me getting back into this, since I know I have I know I have functional weaknesses. I know I have weaknesses that like could literally get me kicked out of the Army. I don't want to push that too hard. I want to be careful with how I do the strength training. And so what you find is with machines, are a lot safer to use. And the reason that they're a lot safer to use is basically because they're locked into one position. So if you're going to do the equivalent of, a bench press or whatever, that bar can only go one way. It can only go up and down, right? Well, the thing is like if you're doing a normal bench press, the bar can go up and down and left and right and side to side, right? Well, again, one of the funniest things in the world is seeing like a newbie like using free weights. Oh my God, like they look like they're gonna kill themselves and everybody else in that damn gym, right? Because that's the thing, like it's a free weight, right? It'll go wherever the hell you tell it to, and so that can cause a lot of injuries. Because the problem is if you're straining in order to keep control of the bar, and then it goes in the wrong direction and starts twisting, and you're not able to keep control of it, then it's really easy to hurt yourself. And so that's a nice thing with machines, is basically you're locked into one position. Not only that, but it has the safeties built into it. So like when I do the press or whatever that I do, it always stops like a foot, not a foot, probably about 6 inches from my chest. Like even if I completely drop the bar, it wouldn't actually hit me. It would stop, 6 inches from my chest. And so there's all this safety stuff that's built into the machines. And so I would argue with a lot of people would be better off starting with machines first and then going to free weights. Again, I would argue yes, free weights are theoretically better. But again, with anything, it all depends on what your situation is. For me, I would prefer not to get gimped up again. And the other thing you have to be thinking about, like with strength training or exercise and all that, is a question that you have to ask yourself is, are you feeling worked out, right? So if you get done with your routine and then you can go and run 5 miles, then you're not getting worked out. I don't care what you're doing. Like, I don't care whether you're doing free weights or machines. If you get done with your routine and you feel absolutely A-okay, perfect, that means you're not really working yourself. And so like with me, with the machines, I go in there, I work it, and again, when I get done with my hour, I'm like, right? I want to go home. So again, I feel good. Like I say, I feel my shoulders, I feel my biceps, I feel my core, my torso, I feel my back muscles. So all that stuff is getting a workout. So again, like I say, for right now, it's good. It's actually good enough that I may start backing off. So I've been doing strength training, trying to do strength training every day for like 2 weeks now. And I have gotten to the point that I may start backing off and doing it every other day, because I think I got a lot of gains in the beginning, simply because I hadn't been working out for a long time or doing strength training for a long time. And so the initial gains are very easy. So being able to do it every day was good. Now what I'm starting to get to is I'm starting to feel like one day after the next day after that, like I still feel like the muscles are like fundamentally tired from doing it day after day after day. So I may actually just start pushing it out to every other day, maybe like extending it, maybe do like an hour and a half every other day, add in some other exercise routines and all that kind of stuff. But that's a thing to be thinking about, like I say. And that's where, like, I bring up this whole idea of dogma. And what I believe is so many of these self-destructive concepts you see are propagated through so much of your life, right? And again, that's where I talk about dogma. Is you get people so focused on dogma, and why I talk about it so much is because you start to see where it is in so many places. Dogma about how you eat, right? Vegan, paleo, vegetarian, what the fuck ever, right? A dogma about how you exercise, free weights versus machines. Dogma about technology, Apple fanboys, Windows fanboys, this, that, the other thing. Dogma about politics, Republican or Democrat. We're just not going to go into politics. But right, is you start to see so much that people just fall into lines with dogma. Like, this is the way that it should be, even when it's self-destructive to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like I say with a lot of people, like, oh, free weights are the only way to exercise. And then you see them like fucking hurt themselves like every other week. And again, I've had enough buddies who have had surgeries. Again, because with the stuff that I've done in life, I've there's a lot of athleticism, and I've had buddies who just do something stupid, and they're recovering for 3 months after a surgery. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing, is you can go in there, the only way to do it is free weights, and then you see them fucking gimp themselves up, and then you don't see them to come back to the gym for 6 months. And then you're like, wow, hey, guess what? For those 3 days you were in the gym, you were getting much better exercise than I was. For the past 6 months, while I've been at the gym and you've been recovering, guess what? Right. Anyways, random things to think about. Dogma. Just stay away from dogma. I don't care what it is. And I know, like I say, some of the vegans out there might be getting a little pissed off. And when I talk about the whole vegan thing, it's just because, like I say, my brain is very topical. Especially when you talk for an hour a day into a camera, what you please realize is the only way that I can do this is if I talk about things off the top of my head. And so this whole vegan thing is still on the top of my head because it's something I have to deal with right now. I did that whole Banana Island thing. I'm planning to do a video on some jackass in the vegan community. Like, the vegan thing is just up in the forebrain or whatever. So that's what I've been talking about lately. And the vegans out there are like, why are you always talking about us and dogma? It's just the forebrain stuff. But yeah, it's dogma. Dogma is the bad stuff. You get focused on dogma and you just lose sight of everything else. Anyways. Oh, and the final thing. As far as yesterday and what happened with the video, I'm so mad about the video. It's so funny because yesterday's video was on safe experimentation. And so actually, the problem yesterday was not the battery. So I was doing a nice little video and I was talking about how to fry up some really good tofu steak, and then the video cut out. It actually wasn't the battery. The video was fine. It was when I went to do the import process into Final Cut Pro and deal and actually process the video, that's when it all went to hell. And I'm not even sure why it went to hell. It was just this random thing. And the issue is with the GoPro. If any of you plan to start using GoPro as a video camera for vlogging, this is something to think about. One thing that I like about my Sony camera, so I have that little $200 Sony camera that I was using before. One thing I like about that, what I really like about that, is it outputs to one file. So you get like one 13 gig file, and then I can just upload that one 13 gig file up to the internet and be done with it. The problem with the GoPro is that it maxes out the file size. So it's like, I don't know, maybe it's a gig or a gig and a half. Like, there's a max, maybe it's 2 gigs, it's probably 2 gigs. There's a max file size, and so what happens is, like, when I'm doing, so this is it's gonna be an hour video. So this will actually be 3 videos that I then have to put through, I have to stitch together in Final Cut Pro. And so when I was doing that stitching together yesterday, somehow I randomly lost like 3 minutes of the video. Don't know how, but lesson. So this is one thing, like if you're thinking about doing vlogging, like if you're doing normal vlogging, again, GoPro is good for what GoPro is good for. It'll be good for my traveling. But for normal vlogging, I would say look at getting just a normal Sony camcorder, because it's nice to just have one solid file to be able to deal with. This, I'm not so worried about because I'm going to use this camera a lot for like a lot of videography while we're traveling. So like when we go through the night market, or we go here, we go there, we go everywhere, I'm going to take a lot of little videos anyway. And so I'm going to be doing a lot of post editing while we go to Thailand. So I'm not so worried about it. So since I've got to do post editing anyway, I just have to do post editing. But for any of you guys just thinking about just doing like pure videos, really think about just getting a normal camcorder, because just having that one solid file is a hell of a lot easier to deal with. So that's what happened yesterday with the GoPro. But anyways, with that, I'm going to go in, eat some dinner, white rice. White rice and tofu. Tofu and white rice. White rice. But that's the thing. If you guys want to fry up tofu, that's what I was telling you guys yesterday. Yeah, this is good. Like I said, you can be a carnivore and enjoy this. Like I said, I used to, like when I was a carnivore, well, I'm still a carnivore. Like when I used to eat meat and not even think about it, that's when I actually came up with this recipe beforehand. And it was good enough, I kept doing it. So what you do is you take a block of tofu, right? You take the block of tofu, like super firm tofu, as firm as you can get it. And then what you do is you cut it for the biggest possible piece. So you get like this 4x3 piece or this 5x4 piece. You get a nice slab of tofu. So that's your tofu steak, right? And then what you do is you go to your stove, and then you put your pan on the stove, and then you put the pan on like medium heat. So with our stove, it goes up to 9, so I put it on 7. And then you get a nice oil. Depends on what oil you like. Not like vegetable oil. Yeah, vegetable oil, so just passe. But a good oil. So like I say, like toasted sesame seed oil. Oh, that is some really good stuff right there. If you haven't had toasted sesame oil, that's amazing stuff. But go find a good oil that you really like. I like toasted sesame oil or avocado oil. Avocado oil is good. Or peanut oil. Oh, if you haven't fried anything with peanut oil, just a little bit of peanut oil, right? So anyways, and then you take, so you got the pan. And then you take somewhere between half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of the oil. Again, basically depending on how big the pan is. You put that down, you make sure it's all good. And then you salt and pepper both sides of your tofu slab. And you put that down. And then you cook it probably about, medium heat, probably about 5 minutes per side. And gets a nice brown crispy coating with that nice salt and pepper. Add in, like I say, like you get toasted sesame oil or sesame oil that really transfers that flavor into the tofu. And the nice thing is when you fry it that way, it's not bread fried, so it doesn't pull in the oil. So when I say if you put in half a tablespoon or a tablespoon of oil, you have to realize you're not actually eating all that oil. Like enough of it will coat the tofu to fry it up, but the most of it will just frankly go in the sink. And oh, that is a beautiful thing. Now I'm telling you, if you're not vegan, if you're a good vegetarian, what you then do is you throw a nice big chunk of cheese on there. Oh, it is fucking heaven. That is beautiful. Even if you're vegan, I don't like the vegan cheese. I think the vegan cheese is a little bit too much of a chemistry experiment for my book. But the Noya. There's a Noya, I don't know what the hell I don't know what they do. They take like tapioca flour and oil and turn it into something called cheese. But anyways, I guess you could do that if you're vegan. You throw some Noya or whatever the hell on top of that is. Fucking amazing. That is like vegetarian food right there. And you go from there. Yes, I know. Lewis Rossman out there. If you're not eating fried tofu steak, you're just completely missing out. But anyways, that is the recipe for tofu steak. And I really did, like I say, like when I created the tofu steak recipe, again, I was not any of this crap. I was 22 years old or something when I figured out how to make fried tofu. Oh, it's fucking phenomenal. But anyways, kind of salivated. Oh, fried tofu. I want some fried tofu. Anyways, I do actually want some fried tofu. So anyways, with that, I will see you guys probably tomorrow. Well, hopefully tomorrow.